Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to another edition of History in Your Own Backyard. Today we are in Napoleon, Indiana at the St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church. Today I'm with Pastor Dixon and Steve. So Steve, can you tell me a little bit about this church?
Sure. This church is a spinoff of another church. This area was settled around the Civil War and communities together, and there was an area called St. Peter's Lutheran Church, which is more commonly referred to as Finks. Everything was, the service was in German, and everybody participated as such. As the area was settled and people's children started to attend schools, the children were all learning English. So the question was, they asked, could the service be converted to English for the children? Several members of the church objected to that, so there was a spinoff. A group of the members of the St. Peter's Finks Church, or Lutheran Church, decided to form their own church, and they came to Napoleon. And they formed a congregation in 1864, and they worshiped in a schoolhouse at first, and then they moved to a church that was already established. Then in 1870, they built their own church, and that's where our congregation began from there. We continued to grow, and after the 1870, they realized that they would need a cemetery. So they purchased some property from a Mr. Bodenberg, who was a member of the church, to start a cemetery in 1874, and that cemetery is still in existence. And lacking a better term, the cemetery is referred to as a Protestant cemetery. Several other churches use it, but they're mainly Protestants, but it is the St. John's Lutheran Cemetery. Then from that time, they were in the church, and then a new church was built with groundbreaking in 1923, and I think the church was completed about a year later in 1924. And that is the church that we are standing in right now. As you can see, that there were, as you'll see throughout the tour, there have been several renovations and additions to the church since then. And then the final addition came in 1996, where we added on some Sunday school rooms, and we renovated the Bethany room area and put in a modern kitchen. And our church is very famous for its cooks, and we have several dinners, and we host an annual turkey dinner each year. And that ranged in size, believe it or not. We've served anywhere from 600 to 900 people. So it's, I wished I could quote you, but we've been well over 90 years that we've been doing that. So that's a quick history of how we got to where we are today.
Pastor Dixon, is there any fun facts that you would like to share about the church?
Well, in this day and age, I'm paid a salary, and I do just about everything and anything. From weddings to baptisms to funerals, it all falls to me. However, it didn't start that way. In the beginning, if you wanted your baby baptized, it was going to cost you $2. If you wanted the church bell rung at the time of the death of your mother, it was going to be 50 cents. A funeral was going to be $5. Mm-hmm. So these services were paid by fees that were pretty well set and established.
Pastor, I see that you have many beautiful features throughout the building. Could you tell me a little bit more about the stained glass windows and some of those features? Well,
the stained glass window is a feature we're very proud of, and it's an important part of our life together and our worship together. The chancel area in general went through an extensive renovation back in the 1980s. The woodwork and all the furniture being refinished and put back in good working order. The side windows are rather simple, but yet beautiful, and you have the same motif carried out even in the back window over the balcony in the loft.
Thanks for watching another edition of History in Your Own Backyard. Today we were in Napoleon, Indiana at the St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church. Remember, travel slowly and stop often.